Hello tribe, back with another quick video. I think we're living in an age of desperation. And I've seen this somewhere, speaking about this topic somewhere, where men are very much in search of a meaning. And I mean, everything that I do basically reflects having some kind of meaning and not just like going to work and maximize whatever you can get from this job and trying to maximize wealth. Such a lonely and such a non-sustaining way of trying to make a life in my view. I think we're living in an age of desperation. I can tell you an example. I just left the house to go down to have a coffee, and I brought my notebook just to. Normally, I just bring like my laptop to work, sometime in a cafe, and do work basically. And this time I was okay. Now I'm gonna get out of the house, get away from the computer a little bit, try to write, maybe sketch ideas for a new article, or just write. It's what I do. I write. And I just went down. It was cold and windy, and I just why should I go down there to have a coffee in this cafe? It's a basic cafe. I was there the other day when I watched the Champions League final there, working on an article as well. I turned back and I was okay. No, but I go to this park instead, and it's nice. It's sunny, but it's windy, and I just felt this. What is it? It's this ache, this kind of melancholy, and that's nothing new. I am a person with quite a lot of melancholy. I don't know. I have had depression, not clinically or anything like that, but I mean, honestly, who have not been depressed at some point? I just recognize this feeling very well. Everyone has their challenges in life. Everyone has there's always this not enough. We're living in this, and this is what I want to get to in this little clip here. I feel as if this sensation of desperation, lack of meaning, and just one way look like the other, and days is just getting by. And I remind myself very often like how happy and how lucky I am in every way. I have some problem with my knee, and I had some ache from that, but I went to the gym today, no problem doing my things that I go there for, but I have problem with running. I cannot go running, for example. And of course that became like a problem now when I left, just because of this whole feeling, this angst, or it's not even angst, it's just this melancholy. And I just thought to myself like this damn knee, and everything became like just more annoying. No, I don't want to go there. Like I know that I have all of these things that I have to do. Everything just became a little bit worse. Everything in my life felt a little bit larger of an issue. And yeah, I mean, in a way, we and now to what I want to get to. I think that there is definitely a phenomena of quiet desperation. That's the quote that many men and women can identify, that we're living in an age of quiet desperation. For example, I don't think there is just one straight answer to this. I think it used to be so different when we grew up in a village or in a town, and we just pick up the first job when we were like, I don't know, let's say you start to work 13, 14, 15, 16, and up, something like that. Like I started to work very young. Of course, not something that I stayed and continued with in a professional manner. I mean, I just had odd jobs, summer jobs, etc. from a very young age. But I think there was a difference at that time. Let's say when you were working in an agriculture, or you took the job that your father had, you got a job in the local factory. Imagine that like fulfilled you mentally, physically often, and you just met a local girl that you known for your whole life basically, and then you just fell in love and you have a family, and that's the kind of life. Now we are, it's so interesting, so many men and women, myself included, we are very, it's freelance, it's independent, it's careers for career fulfillment, and we have this pressure of being successful in materialistic ways, and many people, they are working just independently from their homes, or a boring cubicle job, or any boring job that is like not very fulfilling, but it gives a reward that you have a income and everything, which is more important than ever right now. I would argue actually it's more important now than ever to actually just have a job. Even if there are so many, sorry if I say it, but there is a lot of bullshit jobs there. I mean, myself been doing a lot of them. I think that there is this hunger. I cannot speak for all, but I have that hunger to, and I guess that's why I am also very entrepreneurial, creative, driven, and I just don't settle for how things are, status quo. I would like to contribute something larger than myself, than just profiting myself. I, of course, be part of a community, and which is probably something that I really, really lack at the moment. I mean, I have community, but it's not probably to the extent that I would like to. And I'm not talking about just being part of a local soccer club and or a local sports club. I'm talking about creating something larger community-wise, that working for a bigger vision. I'm sort of doing that now actually anyway, in different ways, whether it's creatively, professionally, and personally, I guess. But yeah, I think that we are now in a time where, and I see this and I feel this myself, but I'm glad that at least I am open to, be able to recognize that pattern. Like I came in here now, I give you an example, and I just sometimes, like, I look at my appearance, like, oh, I should buy this, or I should buy new things of this or that. That start to come as a consumerism comes in a very tricky way, because we think that if I just consume and if I just have that, oh, then I have something that is fulfilling this kind of desperation, this silent desperation. When you wait for something and you worked hard for something to be able to afford something, it's a kind of a rewarding feeling. A little bit similar feeling that you're coming home with groceries, or filling up your fridge with beer is something that I used to really enjoy. It used to make me feel really rich. And just like before you crack your first beer open, you just like to make things nice and tidy, and it's like a little bit of a ritual actually, to be honest. It also connects actually with all of these things that I am working for, like to have a larger meaning, to have meaning basically. That's what I find is so important to me, that I cannot waste that for like drinking, for instance. But back to what I was saying is that consuming, if you're waiting for a package or you come home with something from the store, whether it's like a for your appearance or something, some gadget of some kind, like I don't know, it could be anything. And some people got these really messed up, you know. Some people, they really got this and this is actually very sociological in a way, like it's structural, and it's, I would like to say, it's integrated into our culture for sure, but also kind of integrated in a way to our own psyche when you think about it, because it's such a, it's so imprinted, it's so integrated, and it's so manipulated into a self-rewarding act of doing, essentially. If you think about it, you are feeling this dread, you are just thinking about, maybe not even reflecting it. Many people maybe don't even reflect on what I'm talking about now so deeply the way I'm doing it, but they know what I'm talking about. They know, you know what I'm talking about, I'm pretty sure. I mean, if you are a girl or guy, like I don't think it even matters what age, but you know, when you come to a certain age where you start to like question a little bit, like, what are you doing, what am I doing, is this how it's gonna look for the next 5 years, like what is the bigger plan, what is, but I think also I should calm down a little bit, like live now, Tom, like don't even think about too much of the future, because we are in so uncertain times right now. Like, God knows what life is gonna be like in 2 years, 3, 5 years, you know, because of a lot of things that I'm talking about, geopolitical matters and economical, or even technological. What is that doing to us as human beings? What's going on? And I have written a lot about this, like how technology is integrated into our behavior mechanism or mannerisms rather, or even mobility matters, how we are viewing each other and how we see ourselves with having so much technology into our lives in every aspect you can think of, everything from waking up and using the phone the first thing you're doing, like to integrating technology in our workforce, you know, in everything, everywhere. It does something to us, and it does something to our social relation to each other, how we relate to each other, how we interact. Just go to the gym, like imagine how the gym was like 20 years ago, for example, maybe not even that for a long time ago. How did people interact in the gym? Now everyone is just like running around, not looking at each other and just doing their things, and it's a very isolated act of going to the gym, to be completely honest. But again, this is something that the search and the aspiration for meaning, I find being one tricky part of our society that has many shapes and forms, and we will have to find some kind of a way of finding a better solution rather than just consumption. And consumption comes in many shapes and forms. For example, I consume the way I am working with obviously digitalization, and you know, whatever you do, it's constant. If you're on social media, for example, a lot, that's a consumption also. It's consumerism in a very difficult and tricky way, I would say, and how it creeps down in ages and everything. But I'm gonna stop there so it doesn't become too much of a long rant. Thank you for watching. See you around.